I was about to pull the trigger on a folding mobility scooter last month until I saw a buyer's photo of the folded unit wedged between two airplane seats. It looked fine online, but in real life the armrest stuck out just enough to make the aisle seat passenger squeeze past sideways. That's the kind of frustration I want to help you avoid today. If you're comparing the ZiiLIF R3b to the usual heavy, clunky travel scooters, the headline weight of 37.5 pounds sounds great on paper. But the real question is whether it still feels nimble once you add a backpack, a folded rain poncho, and the charger that clips under the seat. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The first thing that stood out when I unfolded it in my living room was the one-step release on each side. No tools, no wrestling with latches. That's the difference between travel-ready and travel-tolerable. I rolled it straight out the back door, down the driveway, and onto the sidewalk without ever feeling like I was fighting the frame. The four-wheel setup does add a couple of pounds compared to a three-wheel, but it also means you're not white-knuckling the tiller every time you hit a sidewalk crack. If you live in a neighborhood with uneven sidewalks or you're planning a cruise where the deck isn't perfectly smooth, that stability is worth the extra ounces. Battery life is the next worry after weight. The listing says up to 10 miles on a charge, and in my test run with a 170 pounds load it delivered 9.2 miles before the low battery beep started. That's close enough to the claim that you won't be stranded mid-block, but don't expect to double that range just because you're lighter or riding on flat pavement. If your daily loop is more than 8 miles or you're using it at the mall where you'll top it up midday, budget for a second battery or plan a charging stop. The seat is wider than most airline-approved scooters, which is a plus if you're over 6 feet or you wear bulkier outerwear in winter. The flip-up armrests make transfers easier, but they're not spring-loaded. You have to lift them manually, which can be tricky if your grip isn't strong. If you need to slide from the scooter to a car seat in one motion, practice the transfer once before you leave the house. Cup holder and under-seat basket are the small touches that actually matter. I keep a 16-ounce water bottle in the holder and the charger in the basket. Everything else fits in a crossbody bag that clips to the tiller. The basket is shallow, so don't plan to stash a thick jacket there. It'll block your knees on the way in. Airline approval is listed, but read the fine print. The manual specifies a maximum airline battery voltage of 36 V, and the R3b ships with a 36 V 7.5 Ah battery that's within spec. Still, call the airline ahead of time. Some carriers want the battery removed and carried on separately. If you're booking a cruise, the folded dimensions are small enough to fit in most walk-in closets, but measure your cabin closet anyway. Some older ships have tighter spaces. Where this scooter shines is the tight 36-inch turning radius. I live in a 1950s bungalow with doorways just over 30 inches, and the R3b pivots without scraping the door frame. That's not something you appreciate until you've wrestled a wider travel scooter through a narrow hallway. The only real trade-off is ground clearance. At 2.5 inches it's fine on sidewalks and packed gravel, but hit a deep pothole or a grassy campsite and the footplate can drag. If your daily route includes broken pavement or you're heading to a park with soft trails, consider a scooter with larger tires. Who should buy it? If you're a senior or caregiver looking for a scooter that folds in under 2 minutes, fits in most car trunks, and can handle a week-long cruise without weighing you down, this is a solid pick. It's also a good second scooter for someone who already owns a heavier indoor model but wants something lighter for errands and travel. Who should skip it? If you need maximum range, say, 15 miles or more, or you regularly ride on unpaved surfaces, look at a scooter with a bigger battery and larger wheels. Likewise, if you can't lift 38 pounds into a trunk or overhead bin, this isn't the one for you. Bottom line, the ZiiLIF R3b is the rare travel scooter that actually feels light and stable once you're moving, not just when it's folded. It won't replace a full-size indoor scooter, but it's the closest thing to a grab-and-go option I've tested. Check the link in the description if you want to see the latest price and specs.